welcome to World Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Natalie Rydström. The 2013 World Athletics Championships begins in Moscow on Saturday, with the world's finest athletes gathering to compete over 9 days of intense competition. Joining us now to look at the championships from a betting perspective is Richard O'Hagan, sportswriter and regular contributor to SBR Forum. Richard, welcome to the show.
Hi, Natalie.
Now, firstly, Richard, we've got so much to bet on. We're talking 24 events for the men's and 23 events for the women's side, with 204 nations participating, all packed into a mere 9-day time slot. Now, from a betting perspective, what are the best events to be betting on?
Well, the best events to be betting on from a betting perspective are usually going to be the finals. Those are the times when you're going to get the most liquidity in the market. You're going to start getting some sensible sort of prices. So what they've organised has been very clever and very careful to do is to make sure that apart from on the Wednesday of the tournament, there are finals, more than one final, taking place every single day. So you want to be looking out for the finals. You want to be looking out for the ones where there's a more open competition, because if you're looking at the men's 100 meters and you're looking at Usain Bolt, he's absurdly short odds for this race, bearing in mind that he lost the last world final because he false started. So look instead to those with a wider open market where you can actually make some money with a degree of confidence.
Okay, and is there a specific sport which we should bet on?
Well, there are things, middle distance running is always a good one, or middle to long distance running, because the races have a time to play out, and you as a punter have an opportunity to sit there and watch the race. And if you see, for example, someone fall, you can move your money onto somebody else. So they're always good events. I'm never so much of a fan of track and field, the field events of the track and field meeting, but the actual track races, the longer track races where you've got an opportunity to almost pursue a strategy in some of them, particularly if you're looking at something that takes 13 minutes, like the 5,000 meters, that's where your opportunity lies.
Okay, well, big names in the world sport, including Usain Bolt and Mo Farah, will be taking part. And of course, bookies are all over them. Usain Bolt for the 100 meters is favored, priced at 1.10. Second favorite is priced at 9-1. So quite a gap there. Another big name is Mo Farah for the 5,000 meters, who's favored to win, priced at 1.44. So, will you be making a bet on these favorites here?
Not on the favourites, no, but they're good markets where you can look for a place, because the place market is then clearly an open field. And particularly if you're looking at the 5,000 metres, I'd be looking at the USA guy, Galen Rupp, who is Farah's training partner, and Farah basically pulled along to an Olympic medal last year. So I think he's got a good chance of finishing in the places.
Okay, and aside from the track events, is there any other events that hold good value outside of the favourite?
I'm not a big fan of the throwing events for two reasons. One is because they're too much dependent upon who hits form on the day. In some of them, you find that you've got very short price favourites because a lot of the athletes are Eastern European and relatively unknown. And then sadly, they are the events where you always get the drugs creeping in. So we had Olympic events overturned very quickly last year, and I wouldn't want to be a part of any of that. However, if you're looking at something like the long jump or the high jump, those are good competitions. High jump is always a little bit risky because so many factors can affect a high jumper. Long jump and indeed triple jump, my two favourite field events.
Okay, now the heptathlon event, is there any value with Jessica Ennis-Hill being out?
There certainly is. There's been a lot of speculation about who might take over from her because she was so dominant in that Olympic event last year. She hasn't been able to compete. She's been injured. I would definitely be looking towards the people that did well in the Olympics to repeat it this year. But it's a really wide open field. And again, it's a multi-event sport. So you've got 7 events spread over 2 days. You've got plenty of an opportunity to back someone before the start. If they have a disaster or if they actually are forced to pull out through injury, lots of opportunities to change where you're putting your money. You've got 24 hours of continuous betting on that one.
Okay, and is betting on athletics, is that a popular bet to make amongst bettors?
It is when you've got a big event going on, much less so when you've got the smaller track and field events that you see around the world. So in terms of betting on track and field, this is your real opportunity this year. This is the big one, so go for it.
Right, okay, Richard, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.